Hi, I'm Jerry Ford and welcome to my studio. Welcome to part 3 of our Quilting with an Embroidery Machine series. And tonight we're going to be doing edge-to-edge quilting. And we're going to do it two ways, using a conventional hoop as well as using a magnetic hoop, which is widely popular. And a lot of companies do make them for their machines. So let's get started. Remember that whenever you're doing edge-to-edge quilting, leave lots of room on the borders. Leave at least 6 to 8 inches further than what you need. Even if you have to sew another piece of fabric on the end, do so, because it's easy to do edge-to-edge quilting and you're not having to pay a long arm. And you can pretty much do any size quilt in your machines. You don't have to have a fancy high-end machine in order to do this. You can do this on a regular mid-level, even an entry-level embroidery machine with the methods I'm going to teach you. So first of all, we're going to talk about how to do this with a regular embroidery hoop. Okay, remember, you don't need stabilizer for this. It's just make your quilt sandwich, spray it together, you're good to go. Okay, this one is from Designs by Juju, and these are her continuous line ones. These are really easy to do and can be done on any hoop, and they lend themselves really good to what they call edge-to-edge quilting. I would normally quilt it this way because that's really the right side of it. However, you won't be able to see that. I want to draw a line down the middle. Let's see, can we see that? Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm just going to draw a line because this is where I'm going to hoop. And you work from, usually you work in the center and work your way out. I'm going to use my template. Now, where did I put my eyelet cutter? There it is. Okay. And I have this so I don't cut through my table. So anybody can use these designs. Doesn't have to be the high-end machines. Okay. Start at one end. You want to make this bigger because the next one you're going to have to do, in order to make them nest nicely, you want to start way at the top or way somewhere else. This is just to help me put it in here straight in the first place. I don't know why it didn't like it before, but it likes it now. And they're pretty straight. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the machine. Okay. Okay. Set embroidery, edit and move. I'm just going to scoot it back. I want that at the top. Okay. Want this to go sort of a little bit over a little bit. And see, what I'm doing is I'm just moving it right here on that line. It's there. I'm going to check the next one, the bottom. It's crooked. You remember the pen that we did? how I'm having trouble lining this up. Let me get that pen and plug it in. I'm going to go to edit here. I want to use that pen. Okay. That's the center. Okay. It's asking for that center mark, so I'm going to use this one. Here is the center mark. And then it says hit the direction, the arrow. So here's my arrow. Okay, and it's set and ready to go. Okay, so now see how that finished. I know that this has to be inside the grid. Okay, there we go. And if I use this, okay, and the blue, okay, that should be all I need to do. And this again, okay. Here's my center. And then 2, which is I'll hit that one. Okay, that should be set. Okay, and then we'll stitch 1, step 1 plus 1. Oh, that's right on. There's my bobbin thread. And here goes the second one. That got it right on the mark. I don't want it to cut. That actually worked really good. Let me bring that over here and we'll take a closer look at it. Right on. And then over here, that's ready for the next one. That actually isn't bad. I could live with that. How wide is this now? Because I need it to be 13 inches. Oh, see, I don't need to go any further. I'm good. Now what you do on the next row is you'd repeat the same thing. Usually what I would do is I would go the opposite direction, like this one. This one started this way. So I would come this way and nest these in between like this and then start the line this way. And you wouldn't be able to tell. When you're setting this up, you just have your regular quilt sandwich. And I started at this end and worked my way that way. Now I want these to nest. So therefore I'm going to place this so this looks rather nice. And I kind of like how that looks right there. It's just about the right spacing. Maybe a little further apart there, okay. And I'm going to take my blue marker and make a dot. Now remember on the first row that we did in the center of this area is that I went down, just drew a line from one end to the other nice and straight. That's going to keep everything else nice and straight. So I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to measure from that little spot. I'm going to do it in centimeters just because it's easier. Okay, that's 11.5 centimeters. I'm going to come down here to put this line right on 11.5. Going to hold it right here and scoot that over so that that ending line is right there on that 11.5 mark. And now I'm going to put in all the little marks with the blue friction pen or chalk or whatever, Okay, so I have my 5 marks. Now I'm going to draw a line. Don't have to draw this line. You could probably get away without it, but I want you to be able to see things really well. So I've drawn my crosshair again. Now I have enough in here to hoop it. Now if I were using the regular hoop, I would go ahead and, you know, put between the template as usual, but I'm not. We're going to start here. This is actually the top. So it matches this, because this one started here and work down. This one's going to start here and work up. And yes, I have a little bit of space right here and at the ends where they don't exactly match, but that's okay. This is bigger than what I need, which is why you're always going to make your borders and your fabric bigger than you need it. Or like say if this was the end of your quilt, you would add another piece of fabric to the end to make this bigger to accommodate the hoop. Okay. All right, so then we're going to go to the machine, and I finally figure out how to get this lined up properly, and you don't have to have the camera. It's going to work really well. Okay, let's go to the machine. All right, I have loaded the design onto the machine. Here it is. Hit set. Okay, now this is any machine. You're going to put it in however your machine tells you to load a design into it. I'm going to go to embroidery. Okay, this is the top of my hoop. So I want to do a couple things. I want to go to my tensions. I want to raise that tension on this machine. Now, every machine is going to be different. I'm going to raise that tension a little bit so I can get a more balanced stitch. I'm going to go ahead and turn the end color trim off. That way it won't be tempted to cut the jump stitch at the beginning and at the end. So it'll allow you, it'll stop and wait for you to do that. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. I have put my hoop into my machine. Now my machine will not allow me to move that needle any higher than the top of the hoop, so it knows what hoop I have. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I want to hit it move, and I will use the arrow keys to go straight up. Now this is the start and this is the end, and notice they're on the exact same line. Okay, well that's a good thing. So I am going to get my magnets ready. Another thing here, at the bottom of this design, you'll notice I put a pin through the bottom of the axis. So I put it through, go through it, and then so that if you lift it up underneath, you can see the bottom of the pin. Okay, because that's going to help us to place this perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to raise my presser foot. On the machine, I hit OK. I want to go to plus or minus. And I want to go plus 1 stitch forward, and notice that advanced it up. Okay, raise the presser foot, and I'm going to place this. And this is, let me turn the needle beam on. This one's got a needle beam, so that will help. Putting it right on that spot. Turn that off. Lower that needle. And I just want to check it because, you know, okay, it's right on the dot. That's where I want it to go. Now, we're going to leave that there for a moment. I'm going to take one of the large magnets, and I'm going to raise this up. And remember where that needle is right here? If you can see, there's the needle. I'm putting the needle right in line with the center mark on the frame. If you look closely at your frame, you see little divots, and then one of them's got an arrow. That's your exact center. So I'm going to hold that down like that. Put on this one magnet. Okay, and then remove the pin. You can still remove the pin through that. Okay. This is still over here, so I'm going to put the one at the top. Okay, now that is stretched in between, And take the small magnets and start from the center in, sweep out, do them opposite always. The ridge side is in the middle, and this is ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to grab my thread and put the needle up, pull my bobbin thread up. My bobbin thread is pulled up, lower that presser foot. Let's go ahead and stitch this. I will bury those thread tails later. I'm going to raise the presser foot, pull my bobbin thread up. Okay. And one way to pull your bobbin thread up is to hold onto the loop that you just pulled out. Pull your needle forward and then pull, and you will see your threads come up. Okay, and you can just clip them long because we're going to bury those tails later. And let's take a look at this. Now, I was not able to figure out a way to slide these like the Baby Lock and the Brother videos show. So if anybody's got a secret on how to do this, please let me know. Because short of like putting it on the floor and putting my foot on it, it wouldn't move. And even when it did move, it shifted the layers. Okay, so now this is out. It's ready to go. Look, that looks really nice. It's nice and nested, and just like a long arm pantograph. Okay, now I'm going to extend this line straight down. I extended this line all the way down and put the pin right there. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. I don't even have to load it again. I'm good to go. Same thing, come up here. Turn that the light on. Okay, so here is the point. And I'll lower that presser foot. Yep, that's right in there. Okay, so I can pull on this. So I can give this a little pull. Pull this back, and where that pin is pointing is where I'm going to put the other long magnet. So I have, there's one of the long magnets. So this is the needle over here is anchoring that top in, and we're going to pull this and anchor it down at the bottom just by placing the magnet in. Okay, I'm going to take that pin out now because I don't want to stitch over it. I'll put the top in. I just start in the middle and work. There it is. It fits right in there. And then put my side magnets in. Always start from the center and work out. Center and work out, and center and work out. All right. So, just like before, I'm going to lower the presser foot, raise that needle. I want the bobbin thread up. And now it's ready to stitch. All finished. Okay, I'm going to raise the needle, pull off my magnets, cut the threads, and this is done. And this can be done on any machine. Now, if your machine does not take the baby lock or the brother magnetic hoop like this, which I absolutely love this hoop. There are other companies that make hoops for virtually every machine. I know Designs in Machine Embroidery, and I'll put the link in the description below, makes hoops for just about every single machine and just about every single hoop size. So if you go to Designs in Machine Embroidery, you would be able to purchase one. They are well worth their weight in gold, I'll tell you. So this is actually finished. Here's the join right here. And it can't get any better than that. I will erase all the marks and you will be hard pressed to find where one started and one stopped. Now, if you had a big quilt, you just keep going. Usually what you do is that you go across. Like if you have a rectangular quilt like that, then you would, usually you start in the middle and then you work up. Depends on it. Sometimes they all work right to left. Sometimes they alternate. If you want them to nest, it's up to you. I like the way this turned out. I don't need to do anything else because I only need a 12.5-inch diameter circle, and this is more than enough because all I'm doing is making a mat for Lily's cat tree that she sits in by the couch every day, and she loves quilts. So, okay. That's finished. Okay, here it is finished. You really can't tell. It looks like it is edge-to-edge quilting done by a long arm machine, done very simply and easily. One thing I have to caution is I used a friction marker to make my lines. Were the lines this way? Look, I can't even tell which way the lines originally went. That's how good this is. But well, if I look close, because I used a friction marker, always test the friction markers because sometimes they can bleach out the dye. And that's actually what happened here, is that you can look very faintly and see the lines where they originally were because the pen bleached out the yellow dye. It's a cat bed, so I don't really care. A real quilt, I would use chalk because chalk is fully removable, or an air erasable marker or something like that. So this was, so that I caution, always test the friction marker or any marker that you use before you go live with it. And to recap, the secret is to be able to print that template. That makes all the difference in the world, and to be able to mark out your quilt. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this segment on doing edge-to-edge quilting with your embroidery machine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. And if you have any questions, send me an email at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, or if you'd like to join our Thursday night mini classes on Zoom, send me an email request and I'll be happy to send an invitation to you. So until next time, see you later. Bye.